covered in bike chains, and the child has been drenched within rust. And his unlovingly lie about love was nothing but his inconsistent lust. Take me back to Oldham and stuff their mouths of gold and thwack the brie in the knees until we die.
Hello and welcome back to Cyanotype. It's been a long time. We are here with Sam from Caesars of Cymatics.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm not too bad, to be honest. About to do an open mic on my own, which is weird because normally the single will be there, but it's what it is.
Tell us about yourself. Where did you start? Where did you grow up, and how'd you get here?
Where I was from? Tameside, which is obviously Manchester. It's where Tom, the singer's from the same place. The other members are from Stockport, like Salford and random ass places. But Tameside is where from. Grew up basically playing guitar since I was like 8. Oh. And eventually just ended up here somehow. I think I teleported.
So, lead guitarist in Caesars of Cymatics. How long have you been doing that for?
God, it'd be like year and a few months. Yeah, like 3 months. Yeah. I joined about end of October 2023.
Yeah.
As like not even like a full-on member. I joined as like just filling in for a gig, and I just ended up staying.
Yeah.
Basically.
Are you long time mates with Tom, or is it just
we met? Well, I'm not going to go into details, but there was this girl that we both dated, and that's how we met, basically.
Right.
Enemies to friends, friends to lovers. You know how it goes. Basically, we met up like once, just like to settle like the thing after all that stuff happened. And then not long after, he just sent a message, be like, my guitarist has pulled out of my gig, I need help. And then I'm still somehow here. I swear I was meant to leave eventually.
When it comes to Caesars of Cymatics, you obviously say you came in a bit later, and you've told me that you've had some writing input in recent projects, such as Unlovingly Lie.
Unlovingly Lie, that was a very weird one, because basically Tom wrote the song on his own ages ago, like before I joined officially, like the chords and like the lyrics. And then he brought it into rehearsal, and we were going through it, but it just wasn't originally working. And eventually we got to a point where it was working for live, but we never figured out how to get it right for the studio. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, I got sent the tracks of the demos. I just wrote this guitar line out of nowhere. It was literally one take. And next thing we know, we're in the studio fully recording it, and it's a newest single.
Oh, special.
Listen to it.
Sheep scrambled into the slaughterhouse of these Stockholm syndicates and their vindicates and their futile lives of men, and the high and the dry and the vindicates again. And I know it's not my fault but them.
Talking of the acoustic EP, you're obviously lead guitarist, so were you taking a backseat on that?
Yeah, that was more of a... Because it originally started off as a solo project for Tom, and when I joined, it was a solo project, and eventually just kind of evolved into this band because of suddenly around this stuff. And a lot of stuff I've worked on has been stuff that will be coming out in the future. Like, if any of you who watch This Is Caesar fans, you know, like songs like Elizabeth, stuff like that kind of stuff planned for the future that I work on. And they're the stuff I've mainly had like the holdings on and like molded. This stuff that kind of came before that were kind of before I even joined, to be honest.
Yeah. Such as Unlovingly Lie, you find that as a demo on Words, Useless Words. Might we find some more songs from that? I know it's a physical only release, so most people probably haven't heard them.
If you did buy Words, Useless Words, you'd find songs like Mother Whore, Deathly Man, all those. They're kind of like demos pre-me, and then obviously when you saw us live, that's kind of like my fingertips all over it, I guess. But
if you were to pick one of the Caesar's Cymatics songs which you thought was like exemplified what you guys did best, which one do you think you would go for? Or one you're most proud of, maybe?
If you're on the release songs, I'd probably say his best work was definitely Where Have You Gone? Yeah. That's a beautiful song. And obviously one I didn't have much fun, but that is such a beautiful song. If you're about the unreleased stuff, it's a toss-up between, in my personal opinion, this song called Elizabeth, this song called Mother Whore.
Yeah.
Those two were kind of the fusion of all our separate ideas in. So you had like me with these kind of shoegaze effects, heavy ideas coming in. Yeah. You had Tom with kind of like jangle pop songwriting in there. Dylan with his almost Colin Greenwood, I'd say, like bass lines. Or kind of it's like funk bass line on Elizabeth that he was doing. But that kind of fusion of all those ideas kind of molded very well on those two tracks, especially, which I can't wait to finally get them out, which Should be soon, hopefully.
What would you say are the biggest influences for you that you...
Radiohead,
yeah.
Slow Dive, Sunny Day Real Estate, Block Party, Fontaine's DC. That's kind of what me and Tom share, a big one, Fontaine's DC. I'm less of like influence from like the Chameleons and stuff like kind of Tom has a very heavy obsession over. He's like Chameleons. I don't know if many people know about them, like the Sun and the Moon from like the 80s and stuff like that. Whereas mine's kind of more...
He's a bit of an 80s baby.
Yeah. He's a very 80s baby where I'm kind of more into the more 90s alt rock / the current post-punk revival that we're seeing.
Yeah.
I'm massively into that.
You're obviously quite young and coming into the Manchester scene. Is this your first band experience? Have you found it hard getting into the scene?
First proper one, definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously, growing up, I've had like separate bands that were more just friends jamming and everything.
Yeah.
Not something quite to the extent of like gigging at like the Deaf Institute and headlining Retro and doing Academy 3. It's the first time I've ever had that full experience of like going into like my first ever proper gig was Deaf Institute. And that's what I filled in for. And that was
It's a great place, yeah.
I know, it was like fully thrown at the deep end and it was absolute disaster from my point of view because my strap broke twice. But the gig went well in the end. And it was just
as long as everyone has a
sign
good
of things
time.
to come, obviously.
Yeah. You've obviously you played in Leeds, you've supported Lower Love Day. What's like a dream venue for you that you'd like to get one day?
I mean, technical actual acts obviously would be doing like Academy 1 or doing the Albert Hall here.
Yeah.
That venue I'd adore. But for a personal answer, I would love to do a gig at the Garret.
Yeah.
Oh god, imagine getting like on gig and just getting $2 for $5 coming at you.
If you had to go for a Garret cocktail,
I don't do the
girl?
I'm not. I'm for the double spice rum and cokes. That's my go-to.
No Purple Rain.
Oh, I do like a Purple Rain actually. You know.
They've got classics.
Yeah.
So average night out for you, Garret and Satan's, you think?
Garret Satan's, Garret Whitprow. Garret and Zaytonis. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Zaytonis.
Classic. Which Zaytonis? Northern Quarter or the other one?
Oh, well, I'm normally at the Garret, so it's normally that one, but the Northern Quarter, I kind of
tried it.
I can't rate it as well, but that one, we're locked in.
Well, as someone else who struggles with ADHD like you, do you find any issues there? Like, I really struggle to practice guitar every week. Like, I've really got to put some effort in there. Do you?
Practicing's hilarious because I would try and... It's like at uni, we having to learn how to sight read and stuff, and I'm like trying to learn it, and I just end up getting caught off, and just end up just playing random Caesar songs or random songs for like other projects that I've written for, just writing random stuff. I end up getting caught off guard so easily, and it's also getting into that mindset. I'm having to like get myself like a schedule for everything. It's getting bad.
I think that's just how you got to do it.
Yeah.
But you've obviously played lots of open mics, and you're playing one now.
Yeah.
Well, later tonight. What brings you to that sort of deal?
It's just kind of, it's more just for me. It's just something I enjoy doing. I enjoy performing.
Yeah.
And with Caesar right now, we're having like a bit of a break to do more, focus more on the writing and focus more on perfecting these songs. So gigging isn't, it's something that will come back obviously, but for now it's just, we're just giving it a bit of a break. But I miss performing myself, so that's why I'm kind of doing these sort of stuff, just so I'm still in there, you know.
Nice. Now, say you've gone to the Garret and then you go to Satan's and you stop off at Tesco on the way home. Might be a bit late, but what meal deal would you go for?
Oh, I don't normally get meal deals because...
Not a meal deal.
I'm not... I do like a meal deal, but I normally got the Sainsbury's ones because they were cheaper. But you know those like... you have like the bacon butty ones? The bacon butty sandwich?
Yeah.
With like one of those like yogurt pots. Like
You'd go for a yogurt pot? That's bold.
I do like one. And then like the coffee, like the big coffee drinks. You gotta get that caffeine.
I respect that. You know, I went into Asda earlier and they've changed their meal deal for 3 for 2, cheaper starting free. They are shafting it. I think the meal deal is something precious. I don't think you quite hold it in the same regard.
I do like it. I used to work at McDonald's, so it was always cheaper to go there.
You obviously can only speak somewhat of things coming up in the future, but is there anything you can tease? If not,
anything I could tease? Big things.
Yeah.
Don't expect to hear from us gig-wise for a while. That's all I'm saying. But it's something big.
Yeah.
That's the best
It's
I can
good
tease.
news.
It is good news. The Pixies are now my new favourite band, if you're listening.
The Pixies?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That fits with you if you're talking about 90s alt rock.
Yeah. But if you're in the know, you know.
Fantastic. Well, I don't want to keep you too long because you've obviously got an open mic to go off to. But
No problem.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Best of luck.